Sorry for the interruption, but real quick, just want to say thanks to EXADONE for making the intro music. I think it's really epic, and you guys should check him out. He makes a bunch of awesome music. You can find him pretty much everywhere. I have some links in the description and probably a comment about it as well. But yeah, go check him out and listen to some of his music. What's up, people? This video's been a long time coming if you've been watching my channel before. But it's here now. Slow down on the production line, but I got it through. So I'll be comparing the remastered version of Strike Force Heroes to the original. There will be spoilers ahead, so if you haven't played the game yet, either the original or the remastered, check out my playthrough first, or skip the story section of this review because I will talk about the story a lot. But before I start, just to be clear, played the entire game in normal difficulty, and I didn't get to try the ninja class instead of DLC, so I won't go into much detail. But anyway, let's get started. So let's start with the graphics. The graphics are definitely better, and they do give the same cartoonish feel of the original while also making the game way more colorful. I don't have much else to say on that. Now let's talk about the maps. The facility/lab has a health drop instead of just ammo drops, which makes it easier to stay alive. The village and hijack are pretty much the exact same, while the caverns have glowing mushrooms with an additional health drop. The foundry still has the hot molten metal physics, but it did get rid of the pipe on the right side of the map. It wasn't especially useful, but in the original it helped to hide there and regain a little health, while still being able to shoot at enemies. Instead of being outside in the desert, the dormant train is now inside an actual hangar or covered area. The speeding train did get a downgrade though. When someone got killed, the ragdoll physics let the bodies fly down and past the train. That was the fun part of the map, and now it's gone. The nuke/missile and dropship didn't change much other than looks. There are two new maps in the remaster. The Crash is the plane from Hijack that has now crashed in a jungle, while Training Grounds is an exclusive map to custom games. The biggest complaint that I have about the campaign is how the player is never mentioned until the end, where they get a random voice line. My logic is either never make the player talk or have him talk more than once, but at least have him interact with the teammates. In the original, the player was the leader of Alpha Squad and was the one giving orders, but in the remaster, Riggs became the leader. So let's start with the cutscenes. There are actually cutscenes that are voiced and animated instead of static pictures. Most of the missions are generally the same as the original, so I will only mention the ones with differences. Real quick, spoiler warning, so skip ahead to the timestamp if you don't want to listen to this part. Under Siege is a lot better as it actually feels like a real infiltration by the enemy, resulting from the facility being a lot bigger. Siege Under has a parkour section before getting to Riggs and saving the scientists. Hide and Seek differs the most, as in the original you had to fight a bunch of infected in domination mode, while the remaster has you travel through the facility and fight a couple infected along the way until you reach the scientist in bulk. At this point, you have to get out of the facility before the timer runs out and never die while fighting a couple of robots. I felt like this level was really pointless in the remaster as it just felt like filler content. Boarding action also had a change where instead of being the player versus paratroopers, the remaster has Toad helping you fight Globex soldiers who come in on drones. They don't even land on the dropship, which makes the mission a lot easier to do. One final effort also changed from domination to defend Toad from paratroopers. It sounds easy, but you only have 5 lives, and the paratroopers can come from the left and right side of the map. They also spawn with random weapons, so they sometimes have weapons that can one-tap or just spray a ton of bullets. One of the biggest changes in the remaster is the introduction of actual boss fights, which are absent in the original. Jenkins. This boss fight was actually fun. The fight starts easy but gets harder as Jenkins actually uses his sniper rifle to try and shoot you, while the infected are also trying to go after you. This is also a reference to Raise Free with the sniping, if you remember that mission. Infected Tank/Behemoth. This is a new level that the remaster has. Honestly, this boss fight was a grindfest. The boss has a shield which deflects and absorbs most of the damage, a shotgun with exploding tracking bullets, and lots of health. It was a really easy boss fight that was just really annoying to do. Protect the Scientist. Not really a boss fight, but it is really fun as the infected keep rushing you and you can get a huge kill streak. A very easy boss fight to win, but again, very fun to just see the enemy fall over and over. Invisible Globex Girl, Huntress the Sniper. This is a very annoying boss fight. It's pretty much a Jenkins boss fight, except the boss is invisible, spawns clones all over the map that can shoot you, she can teleport away from you, and uses a sniper rifle ability like Jenkins. The only hard part of this mission is the fact that the clones are all over the map, which means you have to focus on finding the boss, killing clones, dodging the sniper shots, and also not kill yourself. Foundry Dude, Max Heat Deformant. The shortest boss fight in the game. This boss fight was filler as the boss wasn't important at all, and there was nothing hard about it. He just uses a mech that eventually gets a small shield, shoots missiles that don't do a lot of damage, and drops mines that can be easily destroyed or dodged. Globex Leader. I prefer the original Globex Leader boss fight over the remaster since it was just a 1v1 where you had to kill him 15 times. There are a ton of things to focus on during the remaster boss fight. Globex coming on drones, Globex Leader trying to kill you, his hard to evade personal jet going back and forth all over the map, and there are only one health drop and ammo drop. The original game has 4 classes, while the remaster has 5. The original also made every class have the same secondaries, while the remaster makes certain weapons available for specific classes. So the medic. In the original, medics have access to assault rifles and magnums, and while in the remaster they have access to assault rifles, magnums, and machine guns. And here's the skills and kill streaks from the original and the remaster on screen. If you want to read it, just pause it. For the assassin, in the original, assassins have access to snipers and melee weapons, while in the remaster they have access to snipers, magnums, and melee weapons. And here's again the skills and kill streaks in the original and the remaster on screen. The Commando. In the original, Commandos have access to machine guns and explosives. In the remastered, they have access to machine guns, explosives, and shotguns. And again, here's the skills and kill streaks from both the original and remastered on screen. The tank. In the original, tanks have access to shotguns and shields, while in the remastered, they have access to shotguns, shields, and melee weapons. And again, skills and kill streaks from both the original and remastered on screen. Like mentioned before, I didn't use the ninja class, but I'll still give you the general info. A new class added to the remaster, and they have access to melee weapons and ninja throwables. And here's their skills and kill streaks on screen for you. Again, just want to make it clear, I did not experience this class, so I can't say if it's good or bad. So weapons. There are way more weapons in the remaster than the original. They also have added skins and modifications that randomly get applied to weapons. Personally, I would prefer to be able to choose which skin my gun has, but I also can't complain as the skins I got weren't bad. Modifications are a different story. Sometimes these mods can improve the weapon. For example, a mod I got was increased damage as long as my ability is fully charged. Other times they can hurt you. An example is less spare ammo, which means you have less ammo available to start and carry. These are a new addition to Strike Force Heroes. They are similar to the gadgets in SFH2, but serve different purposes. All the gadgets are helpful and really depend on your playstyle. For example, the tactical holster lets you carry another primary weapon with decreased damage instead of a secondary. The bayonet will instantly kill a player once you're under a certain amount of health. There are many other gadgets that can make your guns automatic, increase overall health, gain XP faster, and etc. This is a great addition to the game as it increases replayability and no gadgets are able to hurt you. The original didn't have a shop, while the remaster took the shop from Strike Force Heroes 2 and changed it a bit. This includes the slot machine, which can lead to some great weapons or gear, a lot cheaper, but the modifications sometimes fail. For example, you can have a legendary weapon with debuffs which practically turn it into a rare. The shop also sells skins, which are only cosmetics and don't change any aspect of the game. There are definitely a lot more skins in the remaster than in the original. The challenges are all pretty much the same. The butter knife challenge in the remaster is practically the same as Norris Chuck in the original. Ninja Assault and Assassin Assault are identical. Poison was replaced by Juggernaut, but they are very similar to each other. The hide and seek challenge was removed, and in its place we got community, duty calls, and one in the chamber, which I very much prefer. If you saw me play hide and seek, you'll understand why. Overall, the challenges in the remaster felt easier, but I think it's because all of them were on the normal difficulty, while in the original the difficulty increased as you played the challenges. The original didn't have multiplayer, but from what I've seen, the remaster has no one playing multiplayer. Custom games have been improved as a lot more stuff can be edited. Even though it isn't a big addition, daily missions provide a different challenge on a different map every day, helping a little with leveling up and replayability. So here's the question in bracket: is the remaster better than the original? Let's start with, is the remaster fun? Yes, and it definitely provides more replayability, but honestly, I think it was labeled wrong. It should have been called a remake, not a remaster. A remaster means you only change the graphics and improve what already exists, but SFHR changed the story. This would classify it as a remake. The original will always hold a place in my heart, and I will always keep those memories of me playing it as a kid, but I don't regret playing the remaster even though it doesn't stand up to its counterpart.